here. My video response, how I got involved in YouTube, what my YouTube interests were, and the garage gang, so on and so forth. Here we go. I guess in 2008 I'd been watching enough YouTube that I just so frustrated I couldn't contain myself anymore. I wanted to make comments on people's channels, so I thought of a name and put it up and created a channel page in 2008. But I really didn't get my own channel going till a year and a half ago, and I started out. My love of the outdoors, as you know, I enjoy camping and fishing and hunting, all those types of things. And I got bit by that prepper sting, you know, and I was watching people like Nut and Fancy, Hickok 45, Crockett 20. Oh, the Armory channel. That Armory channel was outrageous. He kind of reminded me a lot of our friend Pete, and I just couldn't believe some of the stuff that they were saying, and it wasn't being censored. And I didn't have cable TV. I've never had cable TV. I don't own a cell phone. I don't have to have the newest, latest, and greatest computer and stuff, although I've had a personal computer since about 2000, and so I used to when the free TV switched to the new style TV, and you had to have a special antenna and all that. I can't even remember when that date was. Seems like a long time ago, but that's when I really started vegging out on the YouTube channels, and I've always been real curious about everything in life and things in general, so everything just sort of, I would start off on one thing, and by the end of the evening I'd be in something else completely different, and I just wasn't getting my own projects done. I was kind of overwhelmed with things in general in my life at the time, and I got into a real rut. I would just come home from work, grab something to eat, sit down and start watching YouTube, and before I know it was time to get to bed, and none of my stuff was getting done. And my son had some issues with his 66 Volkswagen, and he kind of dumped it on me and took off for another part of the country. So I started looking at it and got it running and started enjoying that little 66 Bug. My love and passion has always been the sand rails, and I had to give that up due to a job change that didn't pay as well. So I just wasn't doing anything, you know. And I started watching V.W. Darren's videos because I wanted to rebuild an engine, and I hadn't been into an engine in a while. And so I thought, well, you know, started looking at this stuff, and I had pretty much self-taught myself. I didn't mentor anybody, under anybody. I didn't have any professional guidance, and I learned from, you know, books and magazines, a lot from the Gene Berg Blue books, and just talking to people and turning wrenches, just getting into it myself. And I started watching the stuff Darren was putting up, and every now and then he'd drop a little nugget, you know, a little piece of gold. And I'd hear it. He'd mention some little race trick that he was doing, and it's like I learned a bunch of stuff and confirmed some thoughts that I had, but nobody to share it with. And it's like, man, I was into it. I was coming home from work going, hey, what's Darren got to say now? And as far as the body and paint type aspect goes, I had a little experience of that myself back in the 80s. Had a hailstorm come through the neighborhood I was living in, and everybody was going nuts trying to repair their hail damage and shoot a little paint. And we had one fellow in the neighborhood that was had some decent experience, and he was kind of coaching us all, you know. But it seemed like it, you know, it was just how good can you do without the right tools and services. I mean, you buy a DA, a gallon of Bondo, and start trying your hand at it, you know. So I had a little experience, and I think it was that exposure to body and paint that also kept me interested, because it seems like a lot of the guys in the garage gang are in that industry. And, you know, some people, it's actually a business, and they're trying to use YouTube as a marketing tool to attract more business, and I hope that works for them. And I think that's perfectly cool, and I think that's an upfront, straight way to do it. I mean, you got to use the thing, take advantage of everything you can. I had my own business for 4 years, and I realized, you know, marketing is a huge part about it. If people don't know who you are or how to get in touch with you, you can be the greatest at anything, and you've got to get the word out somehow, and YouTube is a great source for that, as well as just entertainment and having fun and interacting with people. So anyhow, I finally sent a PM to Darren, and I says, hey, what's the deal on this YouTube garage stuff? And he responded, and Andrea was sort of doing the typing for him at the time, and she sent me back a PM, and she says, you know, we think that, you know, you're gonna do fine, and it's no big deal, and join in on the fun, and check out this Greg Porter. And so I went over and watched some of Greg Porter's videos, and lo and behold, he's working on a Volkswagen. As a matter of fact, I think I got in about the time he was worrying about his engine or something. He'd already had a lot of the body work done, and was doing some of the final detailing, and I sent him a PM and told him my interest. And he said, you know, hey, go for it, you know. So I've got this camera, and I gave it a shot, threw a few things up, and asked them to please, you know, critique it, tell me what they thought. And they said, you know, just keep at it, keep putting it up, and it's an evolving thing. And I'm having a great time with everybody and sharing the things that I enjoy. And it's like everybody has sort of said, it's not just the garage. It's not just body and fenders or Volkswagen or engines or cars. It's a guy sort of stuff, and there's a lot of gals that watch my channel. I'm surprised. You do that analytics thing. I got a few females that are watching my stuff too, and that's cool. I love it all. And I love life. I like doing things outdoors. I like fishing. I like my job. I like you. I like the garage gang people. It has motivated me to an unbelievable extent, because I used to just come home and sit behind the computer and watch your stuff. And with the encouragement, support I've gotten from all of you people, and watching you and interacting with you, and your comments and views and subs and stuff, and just kind of watch that audience grow and watch the response to the stuff that you put up. It really is fun. It's a challenge. That's kind of my YouTube background. Howdy folks, Easy Jeezy here. Head out and have some fun. But wait! There's more! I need a burrito. That's what I need.